What's up, everybody? This is Jared here with HeatPressNation, and you're watching or listening to the Customizing Culture podcast. And today, I'm stoked. This is kind of like a dream collab for me. Like, if you'd have asked me, hey, Jared, name a location, Hawaii. Name a collab, Big Brandoh. Name a cool new product, whatever the new silhouette stuff is. And yeah, we're 3 for 3 right now. So you guys, Big Brandoh, everybody.
What's happening? Appreciate you guys for having me over here, man.
Yeah,
this is cool, man. Experience has been super cool.
Dude, so so by the way, we're at Silhouette Summit right now, which is Silhouette's conference that they put on. They used to put on every year. And so to kind of get into that really quick, like the last one was 2019. And then for COVID, they canceled. So this is their first year back.
Yeah.
I got to come out to the 2019 one, and this one's better. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Comparing the two, since you came to 2019 to this one right here, did they do it a little different?
Yeah, so, and this is like, look, like obviously, like we got, let me just rip this bandit off. This is the Cameo 5 Plus, and you can see behind me, Silhouette just launched 3 new machines. So this is already bigger. At the last one, that's when they announced the 4 Plus, and 4 Pro.
Okay.
So that's what they did at the last conference. Yeah. It was a little bit different at this conference. Everybody's been like just putting. This conference is a free for all. Put out all your content, everybody live stream.
Yeah.
At the last one, it was like a little bit more secretive, like, hey, don't announce this yet.
I see.
But like some people would like sneak videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit different. And this year they're like, no, like we get it. Everybody just post all your stuff.
There you go.
So I think that's made it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is one, for as a content creator coming out here and doing this, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do and what I couldn't do. So I was kind of just playing by the rules. But then when I seen all the other content creators kind of going crazy when they let us in that demo room, I said, it's kind of like a free for all now, man.
Yeah, and it works out because to me, it like creates this like energy, like this vibe.
I think so.
Yeah, so I really dig it, man. So let me get your thoughts then on you're here, it's your first year at the conference. What are your thoughts on the new machines?
New machines are crazy to me. I rarely look into new tech. I rarely look into what's coming out and what's the newest, hottest thing out, because I rarely upgrade any of my equipment. So seeing everything that they kind of released, the Curio 2, I was mind blown because I didn't know nothing about it.
Dude.
So when I seen it and I said, damn, this thing's like a flatbed, and I seen it moving around and all the capabilities, then I was like, the wheels started turning. And I kind of knew exactly where I wanted to make money if I got that machine, what I would use it for. And possibilities are endless.
That one to me, when I saw it, I was like, is that a flatbed cutter?
Yeah.
I didn't, because and just so you guys, they put like a clip, and it was in the background of one of the early clips in the presentation. I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And then they show it, and I was like, oh, that's like super rad.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I have no idea what I would make with that.
Yeah. So what I was thinking of, like the first thing that happened was the wheels started turning, and I was thinking of, there's a lot of people that do those like sip and paint parties, right? Where they're painting on canvases. So I thought if you could put a canvas in there and then kind of trace out an image that they could paint, kind of like a paint by numbers type of thing. And you'd be able to sell like a stack of 12 of those things to people, and that machine's just basically drawing the outlines for everything. So when I was sitting in the conference, my brain started going, so I wasn't listening to a lot what was going on. It just started like overdrive, where it was
your creator mind just turned on.
All right, how can I use that? Is that beneficial for me? Because like I said, I don't upgrade all my equipment. So when I seen it, I was thinking, all right, I don't know what the price tag is, but I can see there's a benefit for my business on how I can make them like a little bit of money. But then things just started rolling. When I seen them put wood in there and leather, and they're putting all these different materials, I said, oh man, that thing right there was kind of an eye opener for me. But then when I seen the Cameo 5 and that little electrostatic bed, that right there was a game changer for myself, man. Because I've had issues with the sticky mats, and I really just use that sticky mat just for like scrap vinyl, right? I don't want to waste anything, so that's what I use it for. But when you have a small little 4x4 piece of vinyl and you're trying to peel it up and it's all curling up and it's getting crazy, that electrostatic mat blew my mind. For me, I do a lot of print and cut. So whether it's usually like t-shirt transfers, like I just got put onto Caesar Easy Color DTV. That's kind of a new product that I've been loving it. And I hate having to put it on a sticky mat. And so now that, with the electrostatic mat, I'm like, okay, like it's to me, it's a game changer just in making things easier. Because like, just speaking of the mat, like I don't think, me personally, I think the only application I have for it is I might start doing like confetti. And just, that's more for home use. But for things that I'm gonna sell, like, yes, my print and cut stuff,
because if it's less cumbersome for me, if it's less trouble, I'll do more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that's when I seen, all right, I could use this mat, more of the scrap vinyl I could use, but then also it's just ease of use, right? Because trying to lay that thing on the mat, get it set up right, and then trying to peel that thing up. When I was doing decal vinyl, I was noticing that it was too tacky, and then it was pulling that paper backing off.
Yeah.
So I found out that it's a little bit easier to just, because I used that demo and I was like really tugging on that thing, like moving it around, see if it'll move, and it stayed put.
It's solid. Yeah. Yeah, so 100%. Like big ups to them on I'm sure that was a lot of like R&D.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. Like they came out real strong this year, man.
Yeah.
So
look at that. That Cameo's going, man.
No worries. You're good. You're good. I got kids, man. It's we're gonna handle it. That actually like took me home for a second, man. He's one. I miss him.
I get how it works, man. Yeah, especially out here, right? Everybody. What's cool is every time that I come down here, when I come to Hawaii, I never stay in town or stay down in Waikiki. When I do come down here, I see families like this, and they're kind of cruising around. To me, when I'm away from my family, I get a good like. Kind of feels like home a little bit, right?
Yeah. It makes me miss them.
Yeah. 100%, man. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about was the Portrait 4. I'm not too familiar with that one. I never really looked into that machine. And obviously, if they're on number 4 already, they've had a few of these things. Is it just a smaller version of a Cameo, or does it do anything different?
In essence, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So. The portrait series has typically just been like the smaller one. I know Cricut also has a smaller one.
Yeah.
So it really is just really compact and even more affordable.
Yeah.
This is the plus. This is going to be $429. The 12 inch is going to be $329.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for the portrait, it's $199.
Oh, no way.
So to me, like the portrait has always just been like the super entry level.
Yeah.
You know, because like your chest logo, you could do that on a portrait. I could do this on a portrait. Like. Yeah, so there's a lot of things you actually can get done on the portrait. So, but yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, one of the other things that I was kind of blown away by was they showed that app that they were using, and the guy took a picture of something, and then it like live traced it.
Dude, okay.
That right there was crazy.
So my biggest beef with the app previously, the previous version, was that it wasn't very useful.
Yeah.
And to me, if something's not useful, then why even have it?
Yeah.
When they were showing that app, I was like, okay, now I can actually use that. And actually use it to send stuff to the cutter. So it's pretty sick.
Yeah, for me, I never used all the bells and whistles. I just used the auto blade that it came with. I've never replaced my blade ever since I've had my cutter. I've never used the apps, or I don't connect it Bluetooth or any of that stuff, right?
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah, but seeing the capabilities now, I was like, geez, I'm missing out on a ton of stuff.
There's definitely some stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I get locked into, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, like, and I'm a big creature of habit. But now, like, kind of seeing all this cool stuff, I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
So if we can, so I'm a big Silhouette fanboy. You actually been using Silhouette for a long time now. Can you I kind of want to talk about your history with Silhouette, because you run a successful brand, actually brands, plural. Yeah, and you do it on a Cameo, which I love for a lot of reasons. First of all, so many people, like, because I'm still in sales, I help with sales at HPN. They're like, hey, I'm starting a business. What's your most expensive cutter? And I'm like, wrong question. Wrong question to ask. So can you talk a little bit about your history with Silhouette, Cameo in general?
Yeah, so for myself, I've had big cutters almost my whole vinyl career. I was always under the impression bigger's better. It's faster, it's better, it's always, but I noticed I was only cutting 12 and 15 inch rolls of vinyl. I was never utilizing the full scope. So I went through the big Rollins, Graphtex. I went through US Cutter. I had a GCC Expert for a while. I think that was 24 inch. But I started out with the Rollins Sticka. It was a 15 inch cutter. This is a long time ago, early 2000s when they came out with that thing. And the price tag was like $900.
Oh, wow.
And since it was such a tiny cutter and it was exactly what I needed, I ran that thing through its paces and it's worked for me. But then I fell into that weird imposter syndrome where I was thinking, time to upgrade. I need to get a bigger cutter, more expensive, more beefier, but I never cut those big rolls. When I seen the Cameo 3, no, I seen the Cameo 2 first. And this is before I got onto YouTube. I was interested in it and they just came out with a Cameo 3. And I believe I bought it from you guys too. And this is before we worked together or I even knew anything. You guys had a bundle deal. So I said, oh, the smaller cutter fits on my desktop. I don't need a stand for it. Easy call. So that's when I went to the Cameo 3 and I ran that thing all the way till maybe like a year or two ago. And I was operating off that Cameo 3 and I cut vinyl almost every day, if not every day.
Yeah.
How I use my vinyl cutter is I test out every single design with vinyl first. So I'll cut it out with vinyl, press it on a shirt, wear it around, try to get some reactions from, you know, anybody that's seeing it. Yeah. That'll tell me if I should make transfers.
That's how you're supposed to do your product testing, you guys. If you're wondering, like, that's how you're supposed to do your product testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I started doing that, a lot of people didn't get it. They thought I was wasting vinyl or wasting t-shirts. But I feel like if I'm going to order transfers anyway, let me just try to knock one shirt out first and see if it's going to be worth it to order transfers, right? Kind of minimize the risk a little bit. So like I said, I cut every single day. On the Cameo 3, I never had to replace my blade, and I cut heat transfer vinyl almost every day, if not every day.
Nice.
And I'm always thinking of new designs, and I'm pressing them on shirts, wearing them around. A lot of them are flops. They all don't work out. But every now and then you'll get one that's a winner, and then that's the one that I go forward with and I order transfers for.
Yeah, so the shirt you're wearing right now, it's been doing pretty good for you lately, right?
This shirt right here is doing good. I did the same process, cut everything out with vinyl, and then wore it around. My son wore it to a music festival and killed. He came back and he said, everybody was asking me for this shirt. That's all the data I need to order transfers and put it out into the market.
That's sick. So like a successful product for you starts out with the prototype.
That's it.
With the Cameo. And that's one thing I love about the Cameo. So you could prototype all day.
Yeah.
You could like and just so you guys know, when you're buying your stuff wholesale, like a prototype shouldn't cost you more than a couple bucks.
No.
I mean, you should know what shirt you want to offer at the end. So like test your shirts first, but if you're just gonna wear something out, I mean, you could get it done on like a $2 shirt.
Yeah.
$2 worth of vinyl, I mean.
That's it, and you just want to show off the design and you want to wear it around the people that you feel you'll sell it to.
Yeah.
And then after that, then it's just moving after that. You know, you watch people's reactions. I don't know if you guys go through this, but I go through all the time where somebody's reading my shirt and I could kind of see them trying to figure it out and piece it together. Or there's people that'll stop you and say, hey, that's a cool shirt. Where'd you get it from?
Dude, to me, that's the biggest compliment right there.
Yeah, and especially if it's some of your artwork, right? Then you kind of feel good and you're like, all right, cool, this works. When I started doing this, it turned into more of like, for my family, it's a game now. They know that I'll wear a new design out and they're looking for me, right? So I'm walking with my whole family and my wife's looking and my kids are looking and they're like, hey, that person's pointing at your shirt or that person's, you know, you can see them laughing about it. That's the data that I go back with and I'm like, all right, cool, this one won.
Because that's real world research.
Yeah. It's hard because a lot of people kind of rely on social media. And to me, I don't think the likes equal dollars, right? Just because somebody likes it doesn't mean that they're actually going to buy the shirt. Some people just like out of habit. And to me, you know, if you base all your research just on that, it's kind of hard to kind of throw all your eggs in that one basket, right?
Yeah. And then, so for me, another thing that I like to do is if I'm not ready to order the transfers, because my stuff is real low scale, right? I could fire off a dozen. With my, like, honestly, you could do more if you really want to. You could do way more if you want to. Me personally, I'll fire off like my first dozen. And if I can't sell those, then I'm like, okay, I'm really glad I didn't order, you know, all this stuff. But yeah, like that's the cool thing I love about this, especially Cameo, is like it gives you so much flexibility.
It does. It does. And from using the Cameo 3 till now, I've never had any issues. Like I said, I never had to replace the blade, and everything's always just worked for me exactly for what I need it for. I don't do any of the cardstock and everything that this machine really can do. I just cut vinyl with it, but it does everything I need it to, man. Yeah,
to me, it's such a perfect pairing for a heat press. Like, dude, if you have a heat press, you got to get a vinyl cutter.
Yeah, 100%. If you could like create stuff from home just with a vinyl cutter and a heat press, you can make tons of money. You can make tons of money. And there's so many people that do it now just with a vinyl cutter and a heat press. And a lot of people, you know, they'll ask me like, well, how come you don't upgrade to the bigger machines, or how come you don't upgrade your vinyl cutter? I don't need to. This thing does everything I need it to. And like I said, I've been using the Cameo way before I got onto YouTube. And it wasn't that I was like fishing for a sponsorship or fishing for anything. It was just, it worked. It worked, and it was very, very affordable at the time.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people like about your channel, by the way, is that you're open. If something doesn't work, you'll say it.
Yeah.
And if something works, you're like, hey, this works. Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly. And so for me, like yes, I'm representing HeatPressNation, of course. We carry lots of different machines and stuff. But me personally, what do I have at home? I have Cameo. Yeah, and I still have the Cameo 3, by the way. I skipped the 4.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad, but my 3, I had no reason to replace it because it works.
100%.
If it works, it works.
100%. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And I went live earlier today, and people were asking, is it worth upgrading? To me, I feel like this is the upgrade that if you have the 2, 3, this is the upgrade that you're looking for.
I'm getting the Black Plus.
Yeah.
For sure.
For myself, I thought the same thing was, you know what, I just need that Plus, I need the 5.
Yeah.
The really crazy thing was how quiet this thing cuts. And that surprised me like crazy, man. Just in the demo room, it was on and I didn't hear nothing. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I was trying to pick it up with my phone just to try to get the audio. You can't hear that thing moving, man. But I know my Cameo 3, it's pretty loud. You can hear the rollers going. Everything's moving. And, you know, to me, it's not a nuisance, but if you could cut quieter and quicker, why not?
Yeah, at home, like our dining area is same open room as the living room, right?
Yeah.
And so I cut on the dining room table when I'm cutting. And if my wife's watching TV, she's like, oh, do you have to do that? Like, she hates it. And I'm like, I could do this now. I could do this after you go to sleep, and I won't be in bed for like till like really. So she's like, okay, well, just hurry up. And, you know, but with this is like not going to be a problem.
That's why when I seen that, I said, oh, this is worth the upgrade for me.
And
like I said, I rarely upgrade any of my equipment. I'll wait till it either breaks or I really, really need something else. And this, to me, would be
dude, you're rocking a lot of the same equipment that you first got from us. Even before we had like the affiliate partnership, like you still have a lot of those heat presses still running.
So I still have my my Signature Series press. My cap press is still the same since before I got onto YouTube. The Signature Pro, that was an upgrade for myself because of that Sure pressure knob. That to me is a game changer, especially if you're doing t-shirts and hoodies. This is what I use it for, is I need to know what the pressure setting is going to be for hoodies or t-shirts if I'm going back and forth, right? Without that, the way I was doing it on my Signature Series was I was just marking the threads on the knob. So I'll spin it down with a red line and say, all right, this is for t-shirts, and I'll back it off and mark it with a black line. So I kind of knew where to go for hoodies and t-shirts.
That's smarter than what I was doing, because me, I'm just like, that feels about right. And like, well, I mean, I'm sure you've done your thousands too, but me, just, you know, I've done thousands of shirts. So I'm like, more or less.
You could kind of feel it,
right? You could feel it, but people just getting started, they don't know.
No, and it's easier if you have the number readout, so you know, all right, I need to be at 40 for this, I need to be at 50 for these t-shirts. And going back and forth, it sounds kind of dumb, but when you're doing a lot of orders back and forth, you know, it just helps. It cuts down your time, it makes you a little bit more efficient. And that's why, to me, I knew it was the same good Signature press, just with that Sure pressure knob, and that was an added bonus for myself. So it was worth the upgrade.
I love it, man. Kind of going back to your story about like how you're saying how you actually downgraded in size to the silhouette. Now from that point moving forward, like when did you okay, let me rephrase the question. When you like downsized to the silhouette Cameo, right? Were you doing transfers at the time, or was everything vinyl? Have you ever been all vinyl?
I was all vinyl early 2000s.
Okay.
So early 2000, that's back when vinyl was like super thick, and there was only a few companies. But once I got the Cameo, I mainly got it just to test out my designs, and that's all it was. I was already into transfers, I was already doing them, but I was also wasting a ton of money on transfers because I was ordering transfers that weren't selling. So I said, you know what, if I had a smaller cutter that I could just kind of, you know, bang out some quick stuff with, then that'll minimize the risk. And that was the big reason I went with the Cameo, was I just needed something really quick, really fast. That's
actually really good insight, because there's shops out there who, fine, they're doing the super colors, they're doing the transfers, they might even be a screen shop, but like, you still got a prototype. You still got to test it out.
And to me, this is the easiest way, and vinyl's so good now where it's really thin, and you know, back then when it was really thick, it felt like a heavy sticker on your shirt. Now it's so thin that it feels lightweight, and you can put it on lightweight t-shirts now. Because back then when I was doing it, I was using that thick vinyl, and I could only use heavyweight shirts. So I was using like Pro Club heavyweight and stuff like that, because those were the only shirts that could hold the structure of the vinyl. Now that it's so thin, you could put it on anything, 50-50 blends and all that stuff. So when I went with the Cameo, it was mainly just for prototyping. I didn't want to have the stand in my shop no more, because I was like all of my space that I had in my shop was I was working on top of stuff basically, and having this big cutter, and I'm only cutting 12-inch rolls or 15-inch rolls of vinyl. I didn't need the big 32-inch cutter with the stand and the little dropout that catches the vinyl.
Yeah.
It was a waste of space, and you know, this thing did everything I needed to, and I just put it on my desk. Yeah.
Dude, such good info that you've shared so far. To kind of switch gears just a little bit, if you don't mind, so you've actually started several brands.
Yeah.
Done really well. And dude, and you're still kicking butt on YouTube. So you got like, I feel like you got it down. Like you got like the t-shirts. Like if anybody knows t-shirts, Big Brandoh knows t-shirts. Well, what advice would you have for people out there who want to start their own brand? Maybe they're not doing custom stuff. They don't want to do birthday shirts, which I'll take a birthday shirt job. It's money. But like maybe they don't want to do any of that. They want to start their own brand. Like what kind of steps would you give them? Like starting steps.
The first one, I kind of coach a lot of people. What I tell them to do is figure out who they want to sell to.
Okay, nice.
That sounds like a crazy statement because everybody just wants their shirts into the world and they want the world to buy them, right? Everybody in the world is going to be their customer. But to me, it's way easier when you kind of narrow down exactly who you want to sell to, so then that way you could curate your designs for that exact person, and then you could kind of grow from there. So the first thing, if anybody wants to start out, is just know exactly who you want to sell to. I wish I knew this, you know, a long time ago. So that's why anytime somebody asks me for advice, that's the first thing I tell them is figure out who you want to sell to. It's easy to say you want to sell to the world, but narrow down the exact person, and whatever genre you want to be in or whatever your designs speak to, just have somebody in mind that you can always say, all right, I'm going to design this for this person, or I'm going to make this for this person. That's
such good advice, because if you think about it, like nobody sells to the world. Some of my favorite brands, I'm like, they're still like, even, and if you think of worldwide brands like Coca-Cola, well, you still got Pepsi. You still have half or 40% of the world doesn't like Coke, they want Pepsi. So nobody sells to the whole world. So that's such good advice to kind of just narrow it down.
And that's, you know, everybody is a big dreamer, right? Everybody has that big dream of, we want everybody to wear my shirts, we want everybody to buy our stuff, and we want to be multi-millionaires, right? But it's hard to jump to that level right away. I always try to tell people to think smaller, do smaller, and that way you could see small success, you can see small goals being achieved, because when you try to reach for the big goals, it's very hard to get to. So a lot of times, you know, just self-rewarding when you get a few small sales here and there, you get a few things going, you know, a few of your designs win, a few of your things work out, then you start to feel that self-reward of, all right, it's working. But if you go out and you're like, I want to make 100 grand in the first month, and it doesn't happen, then it's soul crushing, right?
You're setting yourself up for defeat.
That's it. That's it. And a lot of people, you know, there's a ton of people on YouTube now that talk about making thousands of dollars selling t-shirts. For myself, I don't want to set nobody up for failure, but I also don't want to set nobody up to either go into debt or just have that real soul-crushing moment where it's like, I spent my life savings on this equipment, I didn't sell one t-shirt. So I'd rather people plan out before they buy equipment, and that way they make better educated decisions.
Dude, that's so good, man. Now, you're pretty unique in the sense that you have successful brands, and you have a successful YouTube channel. Like, is that hard? I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, but like, and I think I asked you this on our first episode, but refresh my memory. The business came first, or the YouTube channel came first?
Business. I've been in business for a long time. I kind of jumped into YouTube only to help out people. A lot of it was my friends asking how to get wholesale licenses and buy wholesale t-shirts. So I made a few videos showing them the process, how to do it in California. And then from there, I started just getting views and comments from strangers. And those videos were only meant for my friends. And once people started asking, make more videos, or we need advice on this, and then I said, man, I might have something here, but let me just try to help some people out. Once I started to really get into making videos and creating the content that people wanted, that's when I seen that there was actual need in this space. At the time, there wasn't too many t-shirt content creators at that time. When I got onto YouTube, and I think I've been on YouTube, I don't know, 8-10 years, something like that. It's been a little while. And
you're one of the OGs.
And it wasn't, you know, there wasn't a lot of people sharing information, because at that time it was a lot of gatekeeping. There was a lot of people that didn't want to share the information because they considered everybody competition. But now you know, there's so many great content creators that are out now that are helping push forward, helping everybody out, and that's what I like about it. But when I started my businesses, that was the first thing a lot of my friends asked, like, hey, how are you doing this? Or how'd you start this business? Or why'd you start this business?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I started the YouTube channel, because now I could just answer in video form, give the people the information, and then if they wanted to run a business like me, everything is pretty transparent on my channel. How I operate, what I do, what I use, all that stuff is laid out for anybody, basically. I would hope people watch the videos, make more money than me, and see way more success than I do, right?
Oh yeah, I love that I have customers who make way more money than me with the stuff that I've showed them. Like, to me, that's kind of like a badge of honor. I'm like,
exactly,
that's pretty cool. Kind of, I feel like it legitimizes a little bit of what I do, and it gives me some validation. Not that I need it. I don't necessarily work for the validation, but it's fun to have it. It's good to have it.
100%, 100%. And that's what, you know, I get a lot of comments, and it's like, yeah, your info helped me and it worked for me and stuff like that. But when I see other people's Instagram posts or YouTube videos and they're using the information and I see them actually using it, that's the part that I like. Because I'm like, all right, you're taking what I'm saying, you're running with it, and you're making it work for your own situation. Fine by me. Yeah. Run with it. Yeah.
What'd you say is harder, running the YouTube or running the brands?
Oh, YouTube, man. I still haven't grasped the whole content creator thing, man. Funny. And it's funny that I say that. Being here at you know, Silhouette Summit, I was on a table with a lot of content creators that are from different spaces outside of the t-shirt world. And I seen how they operated, and I seen how they posted, and I seen them taking notes, and they were just so engaged with the summit that I was kind of mind blown, because I was there and I was enjoying everything, but I just didn't have the content creator brain turned on at the time. I was kind of just soaking it up as a customer first. And I'm like, oh man, I need this machine, and how can I use this machine? Content was the last thing I was thinking about. And that's the part that I struggle with now, is I don't know how to schedule myself and create all the content and still be authentic, where it's not me just coming off trying to sell something to somebody. I need to give the information to the people of actually what I'm doing, what I'm using. And you know, if I just came out here and I'm like, buy this, buy that, buy this, then to me, that's a little gimmicky.
And that's not your brand. And I think one thing that I really appreciate about, if I could say, like, your brand, is that it's just super authentic. And that's you're a very trustworthy creator, and I think that's really important in this space. Not saying that there's places to be salesy. I mean, heck, that's kind of what I do, right? You know, that's kind of my section of the space, is the sales and product. But no, I definitely think that there's a need for you, for the Brandohs, for the people who are like boots on the ground, like, hey, I use this. This sucks. This works. Do what you want to do.
100%. And what I started to notice with my channel was, there's people that they kind of fish for the negative comments from me, right? They want me to bash another company, or they want me to talk bad about something else, so they feel validated because they feel the certain way about that, right? And for myself, I don't feed into any of the negative stuff. I just kind of make the content that I make because I need to help the people. Instead of, you know, adding to the drama, adding to the negativity, I just need to help the people. So for myself, I made it easier by just talking about the stuff that I use, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I don't have to bash another company to get ahead. I just let you guys know what companies I do use and the equipment that I do use, and this is what I've seen success in. So hopefully it works for you guys. You know, and that's kind of been my thing throughout my whole YouTube career, I guess, is just wanting to help the people and not hiding behind a paywall, or not hiding behind, I need to make money off of these people and all this stuff. I don't care about that. If I could tell you what I'm using, what I'm not using, and that's gonna help you make some money, that's all I care about.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so good, man. And I really appreciate that attitude for it. For sure, 100%.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, now before we let you go, I gotta ask. So we're, again, just to kind of recap, we're at Silhouette Summit. Beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. Like, you could not ask for a better location to be working, right? I mean, heck.
Yeah.
Now Silhouette, they did announce 3 new machines. We got the Cameo 5, which includes the Plus.
Yeah.
We also have the Curio 2 and the Portrait 4. I forgot the numbers. And the Portrait 4. If you had to just pick one to take home, which one are you taking home?
I'd probably take home the Curio 2.
Curio 2, okay.
One, it's a new piece of equipment, and like I said, my brain just started running because I wasn't sure how I would use it until I seen them putting all these different materials in, And then it just started going. And like I said, the big thing for myself, and I don't even know if it will be profitable, but it is worth a shot, is when I seen that thing drawing on the canvases and they just laid the canvas on there, no sticky mat, no nothing, and it just started drawing on it, I said, oh man, this is an easy call. I draw all the time anyways, so if I could put my hand drawings on these canvases and let people paint them and do all kind of stuff to them,
so sick.
I think, you know, I would see a little bit of success. And it'd be cool if I started like a little paint and sip business on the side, right? Yeah. So, and then get wine sponsors and do all this stuff. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Gary Vee.
Right? And to me, that's when the wheels start turning, right? So if I had to take something home this weekend, it would either be the Curio 2 or I would need the Cameo 5 Plus with that little electrostatic bed, man. That thing's crazy,
dude,
man.
that is so sick. I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on this stuff. I think by the time this airs, you guys should be able to, if not get these, at least I know pre-orders are going to be open like ASAP. But hopefully by the time you guys are watching this, if you want more info, you can go to heat.press/cameo5. You can check out all of our collection. It's available now. But before we let you go, tell everybody, you guys, you have to follow Brandoh. Tell everybody where they can find you, man.
Find me on YouTube, Big Brandoh. I'm on Instagram as Big Brandoh TV. Check me out on there. That's kind of where you could see me working in my shop, pressing shirts, just kind of the day-to-day, what I'm doing, how I'm working. Everything else on YouTube is more informative to help the people out make a little bit more money.
Cool. Well, dude, we super appreciate you coming out here, having a good time in Honolulu, man. And we'll see you around, dude.
100%. Thanks to HeatPressNation even for inviting me out here, man. This has been a crazy experience. Blew my mind. I didn't know what to expect when I came out here, but I'm glad I was invited out here, man. Thank you guys.
For sure. Our pleasure. And then one more time, it's been the Customizing Culture Podcast. My name is Jared, and this has been Big Brandoh. See you guys around.